Welcome to Lifestyle by SK, where wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. Let's go ahead and jump right into this, people. So imagine that you are showing up for church and the doors are locked until you come up with $1,000. This is exactly what people were saying that happened, that Marvin Sapp had said in a video. But what's the full story? Because we got the clip of what was said. And being a person who goes to church, I can see people paying $1,000 over the course of a couple of years, depending on how they tithe and give to the church, depending on whether they give into the building fund, the mission, or other parts of like offering that they have. But to demand that like that in that entity, definitely is not a good look. It definitely steers younger people away and steer people away overall, because people should be able to come to the church not only to get understanding, but also if they need help, they're able to get that help that they absolutely need. So when we're looking at this, is this spiritual leadership? Is it financial desperation or flat out manipulation? So let's go ahead and break this down. I'm going to definitely play some of the audio here, and I'm not going to show the video on the channel due to copyright reasons, but you all can definitely search online for it should you need to take a look at it. But let's go ahead and just kind of tap into a little bit of the video here. So let's go ahead and look at this audio.
Understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I think $20 is a lot of, and they understand the cost that is involved.
All right. So I don't know if you can hear that, but listening to that, like I said, I could have played it here on the channel, but I don't want to just play that, and taking somebody else's content and replaying it, copyright, stuff like that. But you kind of get the gist. But was this like a fundraising tactic for something that was going on in the church, people? If anybody got more context, please put down what was this actually for? Because that's why I'm not, the clips that we got, we're only hearing pieces of it. But from what I'm listening to is the people that were in the church and the people that was online, he was asking that they can raise 40,000 tonight if people can just put in their seed. And I heard $20 in there, but I also heard him saying the $1,000 into there. But this could this have been symbolic for something? Could it be misunderstood? What? Because is this the trend in churches now compared to other um, pastors that I've heard just actually in person and online? People are going to ask in different forms, no matter how small the seed is. And we understand that there are different types of things like the necessities that have to go on in the church, and necessities in terms of utilities, light bill, water bill, gas bill. Internet's going to be a luxury, of course, but if they're doing online, they have to have, that as well. But the exclusive jets and the multi-million dollar mansions and expensive cars and clothes and watches and stuff like that, unnecessary. And so as someone who believes in faith and leadership in the church, this only rubbed me the wrong way, because how the way that it was delivered in terms of locking the doors, which is preventing people from moving out should they have not participated in this. And faith should never feel like a financial ultimatum, because people are going to give in private of what they want to give and not what they are told to give. So they should never feel like it's an ultimatum between that. But the question I have for you all is, where is the line between encouraging giving, which I've heard many pastors do in good faith and people give from their heart, and demanding money, people demanding that you put in a specific amount of money? And how does this impact people's trust in church leadership to begin with anyway? Because here's the thing: if a person was late on their mortgage, late on a car note, or needed some money to do whatever with, could they have came to the church and forced the ushers to lock the doors and demanded people in the congregation, the church, to help them out? Absolutely not, because you know them deacons are gonna walk them right on up out of there. But what this means for the community is, specifically the church culture is right now that we see, apart from what it used to be like back in the day, pastors didn't have private jets and cars. Now they may have had a Cadillac in the driveway, but they didn't have all this extra stuff. Okay. Now, this impacts the Black community specifically a lot, because we are a very religious type of people. We're a very religious culture. That means, like, we go to church on Sundays, sometimes multiple times throughout the week, and we give. Our great grandparents would give they last, and the last thing you want is for people to give so much that they are not even taking care of the home front itself. But what this does for the younger generation is they view this, the view of organized religion is this pushes more young people away, because young people are not going to do it anyway, right? So churches are now keeping up with the time in terms of like mobile pay. You can pay online through the website and things like that. And we understand that the things that may go on in the church, where the church has some type of thing for the youth, they do maybe programs at the church that require money and resources in order to function. That's different when people are tithing what they want to, as opposed to being forced to try to tithe something. So let's just most definitely be real. Churches need money in order to function in terms of operating costs. But at what cost, though? What do you all think about this? Was Marvin Sapp out of line, or was it misunderstood? Because we only got a portion of the clip. I want to know what was the other portion before that. And definitely drop your thoughts down below in the comments, because the first thing that came to my mind was his song that he came out with. Never would have made it. And overall, these church people never would have paid that before they left their building. So definitely share your comments below. Like, listen, subscribe. Lifestyle by SK, with wine, cigars, and relationships create that tapestry of extraordinary experience. You all have a good one.